Hey everyone, my name is Ro. For all those who may not know me, I am a staffer here at Fort Wayne Sport and Social, and I'm going to be going over some of the rules that we have for volleyball. I'm not going to go over every rule. If you want to read all the rules that we have, you should have got a link in one of our emails. I think it was labeled the welcome email, and you can look at the rules there. I'm just going to be going over some of the rules that we have that makes this league a little more unique. Uh, our first rule, and this rule not only encompasses volleyball, but every league that we have, is don't be a douchebag. It's pretty straightforward and exactly what you think. Just have fun. Uh, Try not to take it too seriously, and if basically not being a douchebag, it's pretty easy. So keep that in mind while playing. Um, I'll be there, not only me, but uh, another person, Abby. She'll be there as well. We'll kind of keep an eye on things, make sure things don't get escalated. Um, but generally, just keep it cool, have fun, and remember, it's volleyball. It's just a game. This is 6v6 uh, with each team having two females on the court at all times. If your team, for some reason, doesn't have two females that week and you may have one, you can play a person down with five, but you can't replace a female with a male. You can replace a male with a female though, and have the ratio of more than two girls, but there has to at least be one female on the court at all times. Your team can play with a minimum of four people on the court, but one of those has to be a female. If you don't meet those requirements, unfortunately, your team forfeits that week. Uh, if that comes to pass and your team, you know that your team won't have enough people for any given week, you can always reach out to us via Facebook and we could probably find you subs. So if that's the case, just reach out, let someone know, and we can do our best to help you out. Um, so one of the biggest rules that we have that seems to is up for interpretation a lot is the no catching or lifting hits. Generally, in regular volleyball, this isn't allowed at all. But given that we're a recreational league and there's so many skill levels playing at one time, we generally don't call a lift, especially if it's minimum, not super blatant, like someone reaching from the ground for a hit and they throw it behind their shoulder, which would obviously be a catch, lift, whatever. That, yes, we would call. But generally, if someone is going for it and they're kind of awkward, or it's just a weird hit and they're trying to hit it back, and if it's a half lift or just basically not a great hit, we generally let that go. And this goes for also people touching the net. If it's just a minimum contact or completely like accidental and it doesn't affect anything else, let the call go. But if it's super blatant, like someone running into the net and falling down underneath it, or accidentally hitting someone on the other side, that's too much. There's a safety issue there at that point, so that would be called. But along with touching the net, lifting is, I don't want to say allowed, but it's not it's not really called upon unless it's super blatant. If this becomes an issue, please let us know. We can definitely give a warning to the offenders, and I'm saying that very loosely because not no one's meaning to do it. Not everyone's super good at volleyball, me included. So we can give them a good like and ask them, hey, try not to do this. We know you're not meaning to do this, but it's against the rules. So just try to hit it more cleanly and not catching it or throwing it. Another rule that we have trouble with sometimes that people tend to forget is not blocking the serve. This isn't an issue for most people like myself who can't block a serve because you're so short and you can't jump that high. But those of you who are blessed with height that can, just remember the serve is kind of off limits to being blocked. especially if you're in the front row. If you're in the back row and the serve comes, feel free to jump and hit it back. That is completely fine. But if you're on the net and the serve comes, you can't jump and block it. If it if a serve comes and hits the net in front of you, you're encouraged to hit it, obviously, but remember, you can't block a serve. Very important rule. Uh, okay, along with this is no reaching over the net to block the other team from hitting it. So, for example, if a team is hitting it or passing it to each other, they're on their second hit, but the ball's super close to the net, and they're attempting to hit it over to you. You can't reach over and hit the ball. The ball has to cross the plane of the net, which is, if this was the net, it has to go over. It can't. It can't. You can't block it while it's on this side. Uh, this has become an issue sometimes, and it's very frustrating, especially if you're doing your best just to hit the ball. Then you have a defender reaching over to hit it on your side. Just remember, hey, if the ball has to cross the net before you can touch it. It is rally scoring. For those of you who don't know what rally scoring is you can score whether or not you served it. So if they served it and they hit the net, you get a point. If you serve it and you score on them, you get a point. It's so pretty much anytime a ball hits the ground, someone is getting a point. It's the best 2 out of 3 games. But you played 18, and if you happen to need a third game, that game is to the game is still 15. Excuse me. Each game is still 18. That wasn't clear. Sorry about that. I would rather talk to you guys in person. This video stuff is weird. But you each game is to 18, win by 2, best 2 out of 3, and the third game is to 15 if needed. That's pretty much all the rules that we have that are a little different here in this league. If you have any questions, my email is attached to this. You can ask me there, or you can ask me in person. I will gladly answer any question you have. Yeah, that's it. I hope everyone's having a good time, and I hope to see you guys soon. And I can't wait to play some volleyball with everyone. Goodbye.